The resilient spirit is not merely the ability to endure, it is a profound expression of the human capacity to adapt, transform, and rise above adversity. It is a force that goes beyond the tangible and enters the realm of the transcendent. This spirit, deeply rooted in the essence of being, reminds us that strength is not always about power or dominance. It is about the quiet, unwavering determination to continue, to grow, and to find meaning even in the face of life's most daunting challenges. Resilience is not a denial of pain or difficulty. It is an acknowledgement of them, a courageous confrontation with the truths of existence. A woman who embodies this spirit does not avoid her struggles but faces them head-on, recognizing them as integral parts of her journey. She understands that the storms of life are not punishments but opportunities to discover the depths of her strength. The resilient spirit is flexible yet unbreakable, like bamboo bending in the wind but never snapping. It is the ability to adapt without losing one's core essence. This spirit finds nourishment not in an unchanging world, but in the chaos of change itself. It thrives in the realization that life is dynamic, and in this dynamism lies its beauty. Above all, resilience is a profound trust in life, a belief that no matter how dark the night, dawn will come. It is the ability to carry on not because the path is easy, but because the journey is worth it. This spirit is a quiet, steady flame that continues to burn, illuminating the way forward, even when the road seems impossible. Life as a flow. Life, at its core, is not a static series of events, but a continuous, ever-changing flow. It is a river that moves forward, winding through landscapes both serene and treacherous. To live fully is to recognize and embrace this natural rhythm, understanding that nothing remains fixed and that every moment is part of a greater current. A woman who never gives up learns to move with this flow rather than resist it. She understands that resistance creates stagnation, like a dam that holds back the vitality of the water. Instead, she surrenders to the movement of life, not as an act of submission, but as an alignment with its deeper wisdom. The flow of life brings both calm and chaos, and in this duality lies its truth. There are moments when the water glides gently, offering peace and clarity, and others when it roars with turbulence, threatening to overwhelm. Yet even in the fiercest rapids, the flow continues, carving new paths and shaping the world around it. This flow teaches that life is not meant to be controlled but experienced. It is an interplay of effort and release, of action and stillness. To align with the flow is to let go of the need for certainty and embrace the beauty of unpredictability. It is to trust that every twist and turn, every rise and fall, carries us toward growth and transformation. In the flow of life, no moment is wasted. The still pools teach patience, the rushing waters build strength, and the obstacles in the river remind us of our resilience. To live as part of this flow is to recognize that we are not separate from it. We are the water, the current, and the force that propels us forward. Strength in vulnerability. Strength in vulnerability is one of life's most profound paradoxes. It is the understanding that true power does not come from impenetrable defenses or rigid self-protection, but from the willingness to expose oneself to the rawness of existence. To be vulnerable is to open the heart fully to both joy and pain, to stand without armor in the face of uncertainty, and to trust that this openness is not weakness but a source of unparalleled strength. A woman who embodies strength in vulnerability understands that life's challenges are not meant to be faced with unyielding force, but with the courage to feel deeply and authentically. She does not suppress her fears, her doubts, or her tears. Instead, she embraces them as essential parts of her humanity, knowing that the act of acknowledging her emotions is a form of resilience in itself. Vulnerability allows for connection to others, to oneself, and to the world. It is through the cracks in our facade that light enters, illuminating the truths we might otherwise keep hidden. This openness fosters growth, for it is only by admitting our imperfections and uncertainties that we can learn, adapt, and evolve. There is immense strength in showing up, even when the heart feels fragile. Vulnerability is not about yielding to despair, but about finding the courage to remain present amid it. It is an act of bravery to let the world see the parts of us that we often wish to hide, the wounds, the scars, the insecurities, and to declare that these do not diminish us but enrich our story. In vulnerability there is freedom. The effort to maintain an illusion of invincibility is exhausting, while the choice to be open brings liberation. It is through this openness that one discovers the depth of inner strength, for only those who are unafraid to face their own truths can truly rise above them. And the infinite dance. The infinite dance of life is an eternal interplay of opposing forces, a ceaseless rhythm that weaves creation and destruction, joy and sorrow, growth and decay. It is not a choreographed routine with predictable steps, but an improvisation that unfolds moment by moment, urging us to move in harmony with its ever-changing tempo. A woman who never gives up becomes a master of this dance, not by controlling its rhythm, but by attuning herself to it. She understands that life's melody is composed of highs and lows, crescendos of triumph and diminuendos of challenge. Each moment, whether harmonious or discordant, has its place in the grand composition. In this dance, stillness is as vital as movement. There are times when the music slows, inviting reflection and renewal, and others when it quickens, demanding energy and resilience. To flow with this dance is to recognize that even the pauses, the silences between the notes, are part of the symphony. The infinite dance teaches adaptability, for no step can be anticipated with certainty. It requires a willingness to pivot, to stumble, and to recover with grace. It is not about perfection, but about participation, about showing up on the dance floor of life, no matter how chaotic or uncertain it may feel. In this eternal movement, nothing is permanent, yet everything is interconnected. The dancer is not separate from the music, but an inseparable part of it, her steps echoing the rhythm of the universe itself. To embrace the infinite dance is to surrender to the flow of existence, finding beauty not in mastering life, but in moving with its boundless energy. Freedom from fear. Freedom from fear is not the absence of fear itself, but the transformation of our relationship with it. Fear, in its essence, is a natural response to the unknown, a protective mechanism designed to keep us safe. Yet when left unchecked, it becomes a barrier, confining us within the walls of our own insecurities and imagined limitations. True freedom emerges when we face fear with courage, curiosity, and a willingness to transcend its hold on us. A woman who embodies freedom from fear understands that fear is not an enemy to be defeated, but a companion to be understood. She does not deny its presence or attempt to suppress it. Instead, she acknowledges it as a signpost, pointing toward the edges of her comfort zone. The fear, for her, is not a signal to retreat, but an invitation to explore. This freedom is cultivated through action. Each step taken in the face of fear diminishes its power and strengthens the spirit. It is not the absence of trembling hands or a racing heart, but the resolve to move forward despite them. It is the recognition that fear only holds sway when it is allowed to paralyze, and that movement, even the smallest step, breaks its grip. The freedom from fear requires trust in oneself, in the process of life, and in the unfolding of the unknown. It is a leap into uncertainty, guided by the faith in the unknown. The faith in the unknown is the profound trust that life, in all its uncertainty, is leading us exactly where we need to go. It is the courage to step forward without the assurance of a clear path, knowing that each moment unfolds with its own wisdom and guidance. This faith is not blind or naive. It is a deep-seated belief that the unknown is not something to fear, but a space of infinite possibility. A woman who embodies faith in the unknown does not cling to certainty as her source of security. Instead, she embraces the mystery of life, understanding that its unpredictable nature is what makes it rich and meaningful. She does not wait for all the answers before taking a step. She moves forward with the belief that the answers will reveal themselves in time, through experience, through courage, and through trust. This faith is rooted in an understanding that we do not control the unfolding of events. It is an acknowledgement that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, and that while we may not see the entire picture, each step we take is part of a greater design. In this uncertainty, she finds freedom from the need to know, from the pressure to have everything figured out. The faith in the unknown requires letting go of the ego's need for control. It is the ability to release the grip on preconceived outcomes, to trust that not knowing is an essential part of the process. It is an act of surrender, but not in weakness, in strength, in the recognition that life's flow is much wiser than the small, limited understanding we often carry. This faith creates space for growth and transformation. It allows for mistakes, detours, and unexpected discoveries, all of which are vital to the journey. By embracing the unknown, she finds the courage to innovate, to explore new territories, and to take risks that open up new dimensions of herself and the world around her. The power of presence. The power of presence lies in the simple yet profound act of being fully engaged in the moment. It is not about the future or the past, but about immersing oneself completely in the here and now. In a world that constantly pulls our attention in countless directions, the ability to remain present is an extraordinary gift, a gift that allows us to experience life in its raw, unfiltered form. A woman who embodies the power of presence understands that true strength is found not in rushing or striving, but in being still, in pausing to truly see, hear, and feel what is around her. She knows that in the quiet moments of stillness, life speaks its loudest truths. Her presence becomes a force that commands attention not through loud words or actions, but through her deep awareness and her ability to be fully attuned to whatever is before her. And presence is transformative, for when we are truly present, we are no longer distracted by worries of the past or anxieties about the future. We are free to experience the full richness of life, to connect deeply with others, and to listen with the kind of attentiveness that fosters understanding and empathy. It is in this presence that the world opens up and we begin to see things as they truly are, not colored by our expectations or judgments. The power of presence is also a quiet form of resilience. In moments of challenge or crisis, when the world feels chaotic, it is the ability to stay grounded in the present that provides clarity and strength. Instead of becoming overwhelmed by what lies ahead, she focuses on what can be done right now. This rootedness in the present moment allows for wise action, free from the paralysis of fear or indecision. The presence also creates connection. When we are fully present, we offer others the gift of being seen and heard, of being valued in the moment. In our presence, others find the space to express themselves authentically, and in turn we create relationships that are deeper, more genuine, and more compassionate. It is through presence that we realize we are not isolated, but part of a shared experience, all interconnected by the present moment. every fall is a lesson. Every fall is an invitation to learn, to grow, and to deepen our understanding of both ourselves and the world around us. Life, in its vastness, is not a linear ascent, but a journey marked by inevitable falls, moments when we stumble, fail, or experience setbacks. These falls are not signs of weakness, but rather opportunities for transformation, where the very act of falling becomes a powerful teacher in itself. A woman who never gives up sees every fall not as a defeat, but as a lesson in disguise. She understands that the ground beneath her feet is not a final resting place, but a place to rise from each fall, offering her the wisdom of experience, the clarity of reflection, and the chance to realign her path. The fall is a process, a crucial part of the journey, for it is in these moments of vulnerability that we often find our deepest insights. Each fall reveals something essential about our limits and our capacity to push beyond them. It shows us where we have grown and where we still have room to evolve. By falling, we encounter the parts of ourselves that need healing, the patterns that need breaking, and the strengths that need developing. It is in these moments that our true potential is revealed, not in the absence of failure, but in the capacity to rise wiser and stronger than before. The fall also teaches humility. It is a reminder that no matter how skilled, experienced, or prepared we may be, we are always learning, always evolving. It is a challenge to our ego, an invitation to release the illusion of perfection and to embrace the reality that imperfection is not only natural but beautiful. Through each fall we learn resilience, for it is not the fall itself that defines us, but how we choose to rise from it. The lessons embedded in each fall become the foundation for future growth, for it is often the hardest moments that shape us the most, teaching us to trust in the process of life. The balance between effort and surrender. The balance between effort and surrender is the delicate art of knowing when to push forward with determination and when to let go and allow life to unfold on its own. It is an understanding that both active engagement and passive acceptance are essential to navigating the complexities of existence. Life is not a battle to be won through sheer force, nor is it a passive waiting game. It is a dance between doing and being, striving and yielding, effort and surrender. A woman who masters this balance knows that her efforts are powerful, but they are not the only force in the universe. She understands that while it is important to show up, to work hard, and to put in the energy required to pursue her goals, the mirror also reflects the depths of our own contradictions. Within us there is light and dark, order and chaos, creation and destruction. These dualities are not separate but intertwined, existing together as part of the whole. Just as the universe contains galaxies in the process of birth and death, so too do we embody both our potential and our limitations. In the mirror of the universe, we come to understand that we are not defined by one aspect of ourselves, but by the entire spectrum of our being. We are the universe in miniature, containing within us all of its contradictions, its beauty, and its chaos. The key to understanding the mirror of the universe is awareness. When we become aware of the reflections in the mirror, we can begin to see beyond the surface. The universe is not just an external reality to be observed, it is an internal reality to be experienced. When we gaze into the mirror, we are gazing into our own depths. The more we understand ourselves, the more we understand the universe. The more we accept ourselves, the more we accept the world around us. In recognizing that we are mirrors of the universe, we come to realize that every part of the cosmos is sacred. From the smallest particle to the largest galaxy, everything is a reflection of the same universal energy. Every living being, Every star, every piece of matter carries within it the same essence. When we look at the world with this understanding, we begin to see its inherent beauty and interconnectedness. We begin to recognize that every moment, every interaction is an opportunity to connect with the divine that flows through all things. The mirror of the universe challenges us to embrace our own power and responsibility. It reminds us that we are not passive observers, but active participants in the unfolding of existence. The way we live, the way we think, the way we love, all of these contribute to the shape of the universe. The mirror shows us that our actions have consequences, both on a personal level and on a global scale. It calls us to align our inner world with the outer world, to live in harmony with the forces of nature, and to recognize that our well-being is intimately connected to the well-being of all. Ultimately, the mirror of the universe is not just a reflection of who we are, but a portal to who we can become. When we look into it, we see not just our present selves, but our potential. The universe is constantly evolving, and so are we. By looking into the mirror and understanding its depths, we come to realize that we are not separate from the universe. We are the universe, experiencing itself through the lens of our individual lives. And in this realization, we find both our power and our peace, knowing that we are part of something far greater than ourselves, yet also deeply connected to it. The ripple effect. The ripple effect is the profound truth that every action, no matter how small, sends waves through the fabric of existence, impacting the world in ways we may never fully understand. Each thought, each word, each gesture is like a stone dropped into a vast, still pond, creating ripples that extend far beyond what we can see or anticipate. The ripple effect reminds us that we are never isolated, that everything we do is interconnected, and that our actions reverberate through the lives of others and across the vast web of life itself. A woman who understands the ripple effect carries the awareness that her choices hold power. She knows that every action she takes, every decision she makes, can set into motion a series of events that may shape not only her own life, but the lives of those around her. In her words and actions, she reflects the understanding that even the smallest act of kindness or the briefest moment of patience can send ripples of positivity into the world. Conversely, she also understands that her moments of frustration, her negative words, or her unchecked anger can set off a cascade of negative effects that influence others in ways that might be impossible to reverse. The ripple effect is a reminder that we are always influencing the world, whether consciously or unconsciously. When we show love and compassion to others, we inspire them to do the same. When we stand in our truth, we empower others to do the same. In this way, we become active participants in the larger movement of life, creating change not just in our own circle, but in the world beyond it. This ripple effect extends far beyond our immediate environment. Each individual is part of a vast, interconnected network of relationships, both visible and invisible. The actions we take with the people closest to us can influence those with whom they come into contact. One small act of kindness may inspire a series of compassionate acts, each one creating waves that touch lives we may never meet. The power of our actions, when compounded, becomes exponential, spreading far beyond our immediate reach. The ripple effect also works through time. The seeds we plant today may not bear fruit for years, yet they have the potential to shape the future in ways we cannot yet fathom. It is not always the grand gestures that make the most profound impact, but the quiet, consistent acts of goodness, integrity, and love that accumulate over time. These actions form a legacy that continues to influence future generations, creating a chain of positive effects that span across time. The ripple effect teaches us the importance of intention. It is not enough to simply act. We must act with awareness of the energy we are putting out into the world. Our intentions shape the ripples we send forth. When we act with purpose, kindness, and awareness, our ripples have the power to create positive change. But when we act out of fear, anger, or selfishness, we risk sending out ripples of harm. Each moment offers us the opportunity to be mindful of the energy we release into the world, to make choices that will inspire and uplift rather than tear down.